Yo, me back with another episode of Minecraft Survival Games. Today we play on the map The Survival Games 3, and today I want to tell you guys the story of my first and only movie date that I've ever been on. The movies are a common place to go for a date, and I can't believe someone just got me like that. Okay, hold up, get me out. Okay, I got out of there. Whew. Okay, so anyway. The movies are okay, that guy's gonna steal my route, and I'm gonna go this way. Hopefully this guy doesn't kill me. So the movies, I've said this so many times, it's a common place to go on a date. And anyway, this was my first time actually deciding to go to the movies on a date. So the girl I was taking, I had been on one date with her before this. And it went pretty well, or at least well enough to the point where, she was fine going out on another date with me to the movies. And it had taken a lot of effort to get this girl to go out with me the first time, just because, I don't know, it took me like 4 months to ask her out. Long story behind that, but I'm not gonna get into that. It took a long time for me to ask her out, just because there wasn't really a good time to do it, as weird as it says. Oh, as weird as that sounds, like, I just couldn't... No, it's difficult to explain, but it took a lot of effort for this to happen. So, I put a lot of effort into the first date, and it went well, and now, we had been texting, deciding what we should do on our next date, and I suggested, hey, how about the movies? And she's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then I'm like, okay, do you have any movies you want to see? And she, not me, she suggested we go see the third, Hobbit movie. The Battle of the Five Armies, I think that's what it's called. The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, something like that. Anyway, I know a lot of Lord of the Rings I think it's one of those series that guys favor a lot more than girls. And anyway, there's a lot of guys out there who would practically kill for their girlfriend to be a Lord of the Rings fan. But I was in a weird situation because she really wanted to see it, but I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I really don't like the Lord of the Rings movies. In my opinion, they're very boring, confusing, and for the love of God, they are long. No one can deny that. Those movies are like 3.5 to 4 hours long. I mean, jeez. Like, why... Like, you think that's enough? And they had to split in 3 parts too, which means, or at least for The Hobbit, which means, like, the whole story takes 12 hours to tell. I mean, jeez. Talk about overkill. Oh, hey, forgot to disguise. Whoops. Maybe this guy will bounce me some gear. I don't know. I don't know. I assumed it was taken. Okay, so anyway, back to the story. So, needless to say, I didn't really want to go see this movie, but I'm like, hey, movies are a good place to go on a date because, well, I hadn't kissed this girl yet. But yeah, I hadn't kissed this girl yet. I didn't do it on the first date, and, you know, second date is kind of like the prime time to take care of that. So, so I decided to... okay, so we get to the theater. Oh, by the way, I might as well mention this. I don't know if the girl would mind me telling this story or not. I'm not going to reveal her name on camera. I don't know if she'd care if I tell this story or not, because it doesn't really make her look bad in any way. And I'm still decently good friends with this girl. I don't see her anymore just because she doesn't go to my school. In fact, I've never dated a girl from my school. I just don't see her day to day, so I don't really talk to her. The last time I saw her was a couple months ago. Like, we're still friends, but, she broke up with me about a month and a half after this happened, after this story took place, so, you know, it's all good still. I mean, like, we're still friends or whatever, no hard feelings about it. So anyway, now to the juicy part of the story, when we get up to the movie theater. So I remember it's like a rainy night or whatever. There's a decently long line in front of the ticket counter, and here's when things start to go a bit off plan. So we get up to the front, and I'm like, okay, two tickets for the, Hobbit Part 3, please. And the guy's like, okay, and he's like punching stuff in his cash register or whatever, to make the payment. And I see, the girl I'm taking reach for her wallet, or purse, or whatever. Purse, probably. Like, she reached for money. And I thought it was a customary thing for at least the first 2 or 3 dates for the guy to pay everything. You know, this is just one of those naive things I thought. But apparently it's not true. I just thought that's what happened. So I'm like, hey. So when she was reaching for it, I said, hey, I'll get the tickets and the food. You don't have to do that. And the guy behind the friggin' ticket counter, is that a dude over there? Or is that just the thing when... That's just, it rendering. The dude behind the ticket counter is like, actually, it's customary on a movie date for the guy to pay for the tickets and the girl to pay for the snacks. And I'm like, what the hell did this, why did he say this to me? I have, like, okay, it's customary, but he didn't have to point it out on the date, you know? Like, screw this guy. Like, I was this close to being like, oh yeah, can I also have a ticket to, straight through the glass, and... get some shards in my hand as I'm punching through so it hurts him even more, you know? I was pretty pissed off by that comment, to say the least. It's like, yeah, and like, he had one of those, like, weird voices, too. I mean, I have a weird voice, but, you know, that's understandable. But this guy was like, sir, it's very customary for the guy to pay for the tickets and the girl to pay for the... I'm like, shut up! Okay, so anyway, that embarrassed me enough. So we get in the movie theater, and now, well, no, not movie theater, the lobby. And so, now that she's paying for the snacks, she asks me what I want. And I always have a bottle of water on me if I'm gonna be out in public for more than 30 minutes. So I didn't need a drink, so I'm just like, you know what, let's just split a large popcorn. I don't know if we'll get through it all, but, you know, like, better more than not enough, okay? So, that is fine. So then, we get in the movie theater. And The Hobbit had, like, recently come out, so, like, it was still, like, one of the top box office movies for at least this weekend. So anyway, there's a special we were at a special movie theater. Well, this, like, I mean, the movie theater, but, like, this specific theater, like, Theater 1 inside the large building of all the theaters, this specific theater was known as the Beanbag Room. Yeah, that's what I think they call it. And anyway, basically, instead of, like, the traditional movie seats with, like, the red velvet seats and, like, the disgusting armrests and the squeaky cup holders, this movie theater is a ton of couches, beanbags, sofas, and, like, basically beds. Like, this thing is, like, it's just a bunch of comfortable stuff. Granted, it's probably very disgusting because, like, people get popcorn in the couch or sofas or whatever. But, you know, I didn't really mind. So anyway, we were deciding where to sit. And I was very excited when I walked in and saw that this was the Beanbag Room. I'm like, yes, this is going to be so much, like, if I'm going to try to kiss this girl, it's going to be so much easier. Because, you know, we'll be able to get closer or whatever. And anyway, while we were finding some place to go, she wants to sit in the beanbags. And, you know, I don't really care at this point. I'm like, it's all a good option. There's no bad option here. So anyway, she's like, so do you want to share a beanbag or do you want to each have one? And these beanbags could probably fit like 3 to 4 people on them. And in my mind, I'm like, if I paid $18.95 for this, we are sharing. But I probably just said something nice and respectful out loud. I'm probably like, let's share one. She's like, okay. So anyway, we're sitting on there, and we're eating popcorn and talking before the movie. We only made it through about a quarter of the popcorn, because the large was, well, large. It had a lot of popcorn in it. And we didn't make it through that much. But anyway, that was fine. So, right before the movie began, I went to the bathroom. I did use the bathroom, but I also, chewed some gum while I was in there to get that popcorn taste out of my mouth so my breath would be fresh AF, and, put some chapstick on so my lips were soft, because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but, like, popcorn kind of, like, makes your lips, like, really dry. I don't know if that's just me or what. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, I want my lips to be soft. Like, I was prepared for this to happen. I was ready. So anyway, I get back in there. I get in the beanbag with her. And movie begins. And this movie, it was difficult to sit through. Because this was the third Hobbit movie. This was the third Hobbit movie. I had seen the first one like 2 years ago. And I had not seen the second. And I barely understand these movies as is. So I made it through the whole movie and I don't remember a thing about it. I can't tell you anything about the plot. I can't even name one character from it. I don't know what happened. But anyway, one thing that was rather annoying is we were sitting in a beanbag that was behind a couch. And the floor was not, like, elevated. Like, in a typical movie theater, the closer you are to the screen, the lower the seat. And it kind of gets higher as it goes toward the back, just so everyone can see the movie. But since they were, like, couches and beanbags and stuff, the floor was flat. And it was at, like, maybe a 2-degree angle. So we were sitting right behind a couch. And I could barely see over the top of it. I could see maybe 60% of the movie screen. So it was really watching The Hobbit and 3 armies, not The Hobbit 5 armies or whatever. Because I could only see 60% of it. So anyway, I don't know how she was seeing the movie at all because I was making my move. Here's what happened. So when the movie began, you know, we were just kind of sitting next to each other, and it was awkward because our arms were, like, pushing against each other, and it was very squish. So then I made my move, you know, the move where you get your arm around her, and, you know, we're sitting there, and every couple minutes or so, like, I'm squeezing her closer, and, like, she's getting closer to me, and it's very nice and comfortable. This has been going on for, like, 30 minutes or whatever. And anyway, I was surprised she was able to see the movie screen at all, because if I'm looking this way, and her head is right here, she had to look up at a steeper angle to see over the couch in front of us, and I highly doubt, I bet she saw maybe the top 30% of the screen. I highly doubt she saw what was happening. I doubt it. But, you know, I never asked her about it, so I don't know. I'm just assuming that, though. She probably just saw the movie again another time. But anyway, so we're getting closer or whatever, so I'm pissed. I'm not really pissed, but, like, this isn't... I'm very bored at the moment, to say the least, because I can't even see the movie, and if I... Like, even if I was able to see the entire picture, I still wouldn't enjoy it, because I don't know what's going on. The guy at the ticket booth had made fun of me, you know? It was just... Things weren't going to plan, but anyway... We eventually just got to the point where, like, we were really close to each other, and I wanted to kiss her, so I just, rather than just go for it, I said, hey, wait, did chests ever refill? I didn't see that. No, I guess they did not. But, yeah, rather than just go for it, I'm like, hey, I really want to kiss you right now. And she playfully laughed about it, for a couple seconds, but, like, it was playful, so, like, it meant she was she was fine with it. It was just it was a weird way of putting it. So, we kissed, and it was very good. I enjoyed it. Not sure what she thought of me as a kisser. If she didn't like it, she did a good job of hiding it. I thought she was pretty good, and yeah, I kissed her, so it was like mission success. It was a mission success in my book. And it was good enough to the point where, like, when there were about 5 minutes left in the movie, we did it again. We did it again at that point. So anyway, movie ended, and we were filing out of the movie theater, and, you know, it's pretty customary to talk about, like, what happened in the movie. Is there any good stuff in there? It's pretty customary to talk about what happened in the movie after you've, you know, seen the movie. I think I'm gonna die here, because this appears to be a team. Yeah, I should have taken the middle and had shot at them. But anyway, okay, so anyway, yeah, I'm gonna die. This is a team. Anyway, we're filing out of the movie theater, and she's trying to talk to me about the movie. And she's like, "Oh, I like this part." I'm like, "Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I just tried to piece together what would have happened in the second, because I don't know." And like, I was just making up BS. Like, it was, to me, if I had been the girl, it would have been very clear I didn't understand what happened. But, you know, I don't know what she thought. Anyway, I just tried to change the subject really quick. We had a different non-movie related conversation on the way home. So I never know if she, like, knew that I didn't understand what had happened in the movie, and it just wasted a ton of my time. Well, not wasted because I spent it with her, but, like, wasted in the sense that I didn't understand what was happening in the movie. And that was it. And I asked her if she wanted to go out with me again, and she did. So, everything, like, even though there was some hiccups here and there, everything went pretty well. Yeah, so, to be honest, I only saw the top 60% of what was going on in that movie, and I don't remember a damn thing. But, you know, still, it's still on the better half of dates I've had, so that is the story of my first movie date, ladies and gentlemen. If any of you need some tips, I recommend seeing a movie that both of you are excited to see. I recommend going to a theater that doesn't have, like, a beanbag type room, just because you can hold hands. I don't know, the beanbag situation was nice, but I don't know, it created some issues here and there. Just go to one of those regular theaters, and make sure you note, it is customary for the guy to pay for tickets and the girl to pay for the snacks. I did not know that, but apparently it's a thing. So yeah, those are my tips for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the story. Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. I'll see you guys next time.